If you keep seeing numbers like 1111, 333, 555, then this message is for you. You have finally started awakening in the matrix. This isn't just random numbers that you're seeing, but a confirmation that you are ascending, that your vibration is finally raising on the planet. And lately, I've been really guided to want to talk about the numbers that you've been seeing, especially the repeating numbers. And numbers play a significant role when we begin to wake up and we begin to ascend and coming back to oneself. For me, I see it sometimes when I need it the most. The numbers show up in very pivotal times in my life, almost by design, of what I'm feeling on the inside to that I create on the outside. That is showing up for me as confirmation that I am on the right path. For me, as we are coming out of the matrix, we oftentimes feel very confused and unsure if we are exactly where we need to be. But when we see these numbers like 1111 and 222, we know that we are comforted by forces that are within us and that we are creating the reality that we want. And typically, when I see those numbers, I am spatially aware that I need to think before my next thought form comes through of what I'm going to create for my reality. Right now, angel numbers are kind of a fad, if you will. And we have many interpretations of what those numbers can be. And we realize, angel numbers aren't just cute, they're codes. They're literally letting you know what your inner world is kind of going through, if that makes sense. Think of them as divine notifications from your higher self or guides or God or whatever you believe in, right? You're waking up, they're telling you, you need to keep going. And you're not going crazy, my friends. You're becoming aware of the synchronicity, right? That was always there. You just couldn't see it beforehand. And so when we become aware of the synchronicity that's going on, we then can become aware of how we're going to guide ourselves moving forward. Like I said, I know for me, when I was waking up initially, I saw the numbers like 1111, and I knew right then and there, oh, wow, it is time for me to manifest, right? I'm in this upgrading mode right now. And I know that I need to be focused, laser focused on what I'm manifesting in my reality currently. Because if I want to bring in more abundance, more love, and more joy, I need to realize what vibration am I giving off currently? What frequency am I carrying? And as we know, the matrix is a system of conditioning. Fear, survival, programming. We have been conditioned like this since we have been born into this world. And our job as human beings is to now break out of the matrix, right? And when we do that, and the moment you start seeing repeating numbers, it's often because your frequency is rising, right? You're moving into a new space of being. You're moving into who you truly are. 717, forward movement. And so these numbers can represent different things for different people. It's not necessarily a rigid way of thinking. Like, that's exactly what 1111 means. That's exactly what 222 means. No, it means something different for everybody else. And what you can do is that you can sit there and you can kind of sit back and think about what was I what was going on at the time that I was starting to see these numbers, right? What was going through my, you know, my environment, my reality, my mind when I was seeing those numbers. And it'd be a really interesting experiment that you can run on yourself to see what those numbers kind of mean for you. I think when we are first breaking out of the matrix and we are ascending and we're just in this state of maybe perpetual confusion or not understanding what's happening to us, we really can find assurance when those numbers show up for us. We can find comfort in that because for me, that was exactly the case. When I saw those numbers, I knew that everything was going to be okay. That truly, I wasn't alone in this world. I didn't feel lost in that moment because I knew it was exactly where I needed to be. It's almost like those numbers show up for us when we exactly when we need it, right? In a very synchronistic way. And I'm a firm believer in synchronicity. I truly believe that, it's something that is trying to come in and show me that I am on the right path. And when I see those numbers, every time it's like I question, right? It's like when I see them come in, I'm like, oh man, what have I been thinking about? What has been going on in my reality? And oftentimes it will cause me to go into a brief meditation, and I can then sit with that in that moment. And what is needing to be shown to me is shown to me. But sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's literally you're upgrading, right? It's like, okay, you are ascending. You are raising your vibration. You are doing what you need to be doing in order to come back to yourself as your authentic, true co-creator. And I think it's just really a beautiful way of seeing it. And I've always just taken so much care in that. And oftentimes there's confusion out there because I've noticed that some teachers out there are telling you that they mean absolutely nothing. And when you're first waking up, that can be really disheartening. I agree to a sense that we shouldn't put so much meaning into numbers and live by it. And like, we're looking at the clock and we're seeing that it says 5:54, and we're like, if I keep staring, it's going to say 5:55, and that's confirmation. No, that's not what we need to be doing. But it's like that random synchronicity where you're just like sitting there and all of a sudden you glance over and the phone number on the truck's like has like 555, in the phone number. And you're like, okay, I needed to see that right now. It's truly beautiful, and know that the universe is cheering you on. Your higher self is like, yes, you're getting it. You're really raising your vibration, your guides, God, whatever you believe in is truly sending you this so that you can reassure yourself that you are powerful. You are beautiful. You are love. And you are stronger than you will ever know. right, my friends, if you found this video to be helpful, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below if you've been seeing any angel numbers lately and kind of what it has brought with you into this universe. I would love to hear it. All right. Talk to you soon.